Hey guys, it's Misty with My Paper Cuts, and I am coming back on today to do a project share for Freaky Fridays. This is a hashtag that was started by Susan Tootsie Tucker over at Craft Adventures with Susan Tootsie Tucker. And each Friday it's an open collab. There's no set time, there's just a hashtag, the hashtag Freaky Fridays, and you can make anything Halloween related, spooky, if you have that kind of odd stamp set that you want to use, it's up to you. It's just an opportunity to maybe make some Halloween creations, or however you view Freaky Friday to be. I am of course embracing the whole Halloween thing because I definitely need to be using up my Halloween stuff. So speaking of which, today's card, I only did 2 cards, which is unusual for me, but as I was doing some rearranging in my craft room, I had a couple of images that I had cut out with my Cricut, and I had used an SVG file that I bought on Etsy, and I had tested it. I just wanted to test it to see how it cut because it was very fine detailed, and I was concerned that it wouldn't cut out very well, so I tested it with a couple of different settings, and both of them cut out beautifully. I cut them with some shimmer paper, like the pearlized black paper, and it's just a silhouette. So I had 2 of them. They were floating around on my desk for 2 years. I mean, it's one of those things like you don't really want to throw it away because it's pretty cool, but then it's like, what do you do with it? I only had 2, so I decided it was high time that I use them. So I'm going to go ahead and share the card, and then I'll go through all the stuff I used, including these inks that are already in front of you. So I did make 2. So here they are. So they're Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And if you've been watching me for a while, you probably remember the Oogie Boogie cards I made. I cut these silhouette images, the images of the Curly Hillside and Jack and Sally. It's all one image, and I just cut it out with my Cricut Joy one day. And you can see, like, as fine detailed as those images are, it did cut out really, really well. So I finally decided to use them. So the way that I started this card was, like I said, I had the images, and then the background, I used this little moon stencil that I had from Tim Holtz. This is a unique size. This one came in one of these Stamptember, or the year that he released the moon masks. This was a special size that was in his Stamptember set. It was included in there, and so when you buy his full moon mask, I think you get 2 or 3 sizes, and this one is in between 2 of the sizes. So I decided to go ahead and use that. And basically the way it works, in case you've never seen it, is you have a solid piece, and then you have this piece with the details. So I used pixie spray, and I put down the solid image onto just white cardstock, and I inked the background over the top of it with these 3 colors here: Weathered Wood, Faded Jeans, and Chipped Sapphire. And then I removed the solid mask that's in here, and I inked with these 2 colors, the Squeezed Lemonade and Fossilized Amber. And then you put the detailed stencil on top, and then you can go through it and put, the texture on the moon. Now for this card, I did the texture in Fossilized Amber, and it didn't show up as well, and it turned out a little bit more yellow than I wanted. So for this card, I tried it with just a little bit of the Weathered Wood. It was basically, I just tapped it on with what was left on my blending sponge after doing these backgrounds. And I like that detail much better there. So after I created the inked background, let me move these out of the way a little bit. Then I glued the cutout that I had on top, and I don't know if you could see that, but it is just a cutout piece glued down. It is just one image. I think I mentioned that already. And then the sides here, I actually created with a background stamp. So the background stamp is from Hero Arts. And when I was working on some Alice in Wonderland stuff, I was looking everywhere for like Harlequin print paper, and I couldn't find it. So out of desperation, I ordered a background stamp online. So I decided it was another thing that it was high time to use. So I just stamped that with this ink on 3 embossing ink that my buddy P sent me, which it's really good. This is a really juicy pad, so it's nice. And I also got to use my new Pink and Main powder brush. This is really cool. It's very soft. I've always used just the little pouch, but this is nice because, you know, it's retractable so that you can do, and this brush is so soft, and the powder is really fine. And then you can put that cover back up and then put the outer cover back on, and it's nice. It's a lot cleaner than that pouch. So I embossed the stripes here, and I have some scraps of the paper left over. But the embossing powder that I used is one of these mixed media powders that I got when they were on clearance at Hobby Lobby. This is the color Lilac. And I just embossed that on there because I just associate purple and black with anything Tim Burton. So I put the stripes on the side, and they're layered with a little piece of black cardstock. And then I also glued into place some holographic stars, and those are from Nuvo, and they're called mirror ball stars. I always struggle with that word. But they're really nice holographic stars. They don't have holes in the middle or anything. And then the sentiment here is on this is one of my favorite. I should just leave this on my desk, I use it so much, but is on this size right here of this little banner die. And the sentiment comes from this My Favorite Things stamp set, which is called Sassy Pants Spooktacular. So it's just a bunch of snarky Halloween messages. It's the You're My Boo here on the side. I thought that was cute for Jack and Sally. And then the inside of the card, I took, and I have like this really old heart punch, and I just punched from the scraps from when I created the front, just a little heart, and then I used the All I Need Is Candy and You from the same stamp set. So that is my quick share for Freaky Friday. I want to say thanks again to Susan for coming up with this hashtag. It's been a lot of fun to have an excuse to make Halloween stuff, and I will hopefully see you next week with another share. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good evening.